In the digital age, true crime is no longer consumed passively. It is dissected, analyzed, and scrutinized in real time by millions across the globe. When a high-profile case unfolds, the public relies on transparency, accountability, and the unyielding pursuit of justice. However, when transparency is replaced by perceived obfuscation, independent creators and concerned citizens step into the void to demand answers. Today, we are taking a deep, critical dive into two major developments surrounding the Nolan Wells case. These developments, stemming from separate investigative commentaries, including insights from platforms like Willie D. Live and secondary deep dives, expose a tangled web of audio inconsistencies, alleged institutional pressures, calculated timelines, and emotional exploitation. As we break down these claims, it is essential to maintain our commitment to rigorous analysis. We will separate verified facts from speculative commentary, evaluate the credibility of the evidence presented, and examine the profound implications these revelations hold for everyone involved. Let us unpack the layers of this unfolding situation from the very beginning, looking closely at how information spreads, how statements are passed, and why accountability matters more than ever. To understand the current state of public scrutiny, we must first examine the developments surrounding Warren Hudson. In the initial phases of high-profile cases involving sudden disappearances or tragic outcomes, public statements made by key individuals are placed under a microscope. Every slip of the tongue, every hesitation, and every change in narrative can become a focal point for investigators and commentators alike. In the coverage provided by Willie D. Live, the core argument centers on perceived contradictions in Warren Hudson's public posture and statements. According to the commentary, Hudson's initial public addresses contained linguistic slips and structural inconsistencies when compared to subsequent interviews or media appearances. In public relations and crisis management, consistency is the bedrock of credibility. When a narrative shifts, even subtly, observers immediately look for the underlying cause. The creator argues that these shifts are not merely accidental misstatements, but potential indicators of a defensive posture. While public commentators often label these inconsistencies as signs of a cover-up, objective analysis requires us to view them through a dual lens. They are either genuine human errors made under immense public pressure or deliberate attempts to manage a volatile narrative. Adding to this complexity is the most explosive element of the Willie D. Live commentary, which involves an audio clip that has circulated extensively within online investigative communities. According to the breakdown, this audio has undergone technical enhancement to isolate background noise and low-frequency dialogue. Commentators claim that the enhanced audio captures fragments of a private conversation, with discernible phrases such as "Is he dead?" and an exclamation resembling "Damn it, Bart" or "Buddy." However, enhanced audio is notoriously difficult to authenticate without chain-of-custody documentation from certified forensic audio experts. Amplifying low-frequency audio often introduces artifacts, electronic distortions that can trick the human ear into hearing words that do not actually exist in the source recording, a phenomenon known to psychologists as auditory pareidolia. Despite this technological ambiguity, the creator utilizes the audio clip to bolster the narrative that private conversations drastically contradict public assurances of innocence. For viewers and content creators navigating this space, drawing a hard line between what is scientifically verified audio evidence and what is speculative interpretation is non-negotiable. Presenting enhanced audio as absolute proof without forensic backing invites severe credibility issues and legal vulnerabilities, reminding us why caution must always precede sensationalism in serious investigations. Transitioning from the audio controversies of Warren Hudson, we turn our attention to a parallel set of claims involving the Nolan Wells case, brought forward by secondary investigative creators. This angle introduces heavy allegations regarding institutional pressure, legal representation, and strategic maneuvering behind the scenes. At the heart of this second creator's breakdown is a serious allegation directed at Officer DeGino and Tatum. The primary claim asserts that an explicit ultimatum was delivered to Nolan's mother, Christine. According to the commentary, Christine was allegedly told that her continued association with high-profile civil rights attorney Ben Crump was standing in the way of her receiving justice or cooperation from local authorities. In essence, the creator frames this as a coercive bargain. Drop the high-profile legal representation, and the path forward clears. Retain the representation, and institutional resistance continues. Allegations of institutional ultimatums carry immense weight. In legal and investigative contexts, pressuring a grieving family member to alter their legal representation in exchange for official cooperation, if proven true, would represent a severe breach of ethical standards and procedural norms. However, we must approach this claim with strict intellectual honesty. The creator behind this narrative explicitly acknowledges the speculative nature of parts of their commentary, utilizing phrasing that strongly implies personal interpretation. While the emotional resonance of a mother being cornered by authorities is powerful for storytelling and audience engagement, verifying whether such an ultimatum was formally delivered requires documentary evidence, recorded communications, or sworn testimonies. Without these concrete anchors, the claim remains an allegation rooted in critical commentary rather than established fact. While emotional appeals and dramatic claims often dominate online discussions, investigators and meticulous analysts look for hard, verifiable data points. One of the strongest and most checkable elements in this entire saga is the timeline surrounding Judge Ashley Cole, Warren's stepmother. The commentary highlights a specific sequence of digital timestamps that has raised red flags among independent researchers. At exactly 8:59 p.m. on July 7th, Judge Ashley Cole reportedly sent a direct text message to Christine, Nolan's mother. Exactly 16 minutes later, at 9:15 p.m., Judge Cole published a public statement on Facebook aggressively defending her stepson's innocence. The creator of this segment labels this 16-minute window as a calculated alibi setup. The argument posits that reaching out directly to the grieving mother moments before launching a public defense campaign is not a gesture of empathy, but a preemptive strategic move designed to manage public perception, control the narrative flow, and establish a digital record of proactive communication. From an analytical standpoint, this is the most solid and usable angle in the entire commentary because it relies on objective data, metadata, timestamps, and public records. Unlike subjective audio clips or disputed conversations, a 16-minute gap between a private text and a public declaration is a concrete, checkable fact. Whether one interprets that gap as a malicious alibi setup or simply poor timing and defensive crisis management is up to the audience. But the underlying timeline itself provides a tangible framework for discussion that transcends mere speculation. In fast-moving digital investigations, misinformation travels faster than verified truth, and both commentary streams touch upon the dangerous phenomenon of unverified visual evidence being weaponized to steer public opinion. During the height of public anxiety surrounding the case, a photograph began circulating widely across social media platforms, purported to be a visual confirmation that Nolan Wells was alive after the initial incidents that sparked public outrage. For a grieving family and a desperate public, such an image carries immense emotional weight and offers a glimmer of hope amidst uncertainty. However, independent digital investigators and local researchers quickly dismantled the claim. The individual in the photograph was conclusively identified as someone else entirely, hailing from Olive Branch rather than Nolan Wells. The rapid spread and subsequent debunking of this photo highlight the fragility of digital information during active controversies. It demonstrates how bad actors or misinformed internet users can inject false hope or confusion into an already volatile environment, underscoring the vital responsibility of creators to vet visual media thoroughly before amplifying it to large audiences. Trust is easily broken when unverified images are pushed out for the sake of engagement, making rigorous fact-checking an absolute necessity for anyone reporting on developing stories. When analyzing cases that intersect with institutional power, local politics, and public grief, cultural and racial dynamics frequently enter the conversation, and both commentaries venture into sensitive territory that demands careful navigation. The secondary creator invokes historical parallels, referencing Emmett Till to challenge the underlying narrative that regional dynamics do not play a role in local justice outcomes. Historical references of this magnitude carry deep cultural weight and emotional resonance. While they provide context for why certain communities maintain deep-seated distrust toward local institutions, they also elevate the discourse into highly sensitive political and social spheres. Furthermore, content platforms maintain strict algorithmic and policy boundaries regarding accusations of systemic bias, defamation, and racially charged commentary. Crossing the line from systemic critique into unverified personal defamation against named individuals can result in content suppression, demonetization, or platform penalties. Throughout both source videos, named individuals, including Officer DeGino, Tatum, Judge Ashley Cole, and Warren Hudson, are subjected to severe labels, with creators using terms such as intellectually dishonest, insidious, and morally bankrupt to describe their actions. As independent analysts and content creators, adopting this level of direct accusation without legal backing is a perilous path. To maintain journalistic integrity and protect oneself from legal liabilities, the golden rule must always be observed: separate what is known from what is alleged. Using precise framing phrases allows creators to discuss serious public controversies without exposing themselves to defamation risks or violating community guidelines, ensuring that the discourse remains grounded, responsible, and resilient against potential legal challenges. As we bring these two complementary angles together, a comprehensive picture emerges of a multi-layered controversy defined by several distinct pillars. We see audio ambiguity through the disputed enhancement of Warren Hudson's recorded statements, which highlights the dangers of interpreting low-quality audio as absolute truth without proper forensic backing. We see institutional allegations through the claim of a coercive ultimatum directed at Nolan's mother regarding legal representation, illustrating the intense pressure surrounding high-profile legal battles. We see verifiable timelines through the concrete 16-minute window between Judge Ashley Cole's private text and public Facebook post, offering a factual anchor for discussion. Finally, we see the danger of digital misinformation through the circulation and debunking of mistaken photographs, reminding us of the urgent need for digital literacy and verification in the modern media landscape. Whether these narratives are presented as a unified, comprehensive feature or explored through distinct, focused segments, the core takeaway remains clear and unwavering. The public demands truth, accountability, and clarity in the face of tragedy. However, fulfilling that demand requires rising above emotional rants, respecting the boundaries of verified facts, and maintaining an unwavering commitment to responsible storytelling. By anchoring our analysis in data that can be independently checked, while treating sensitive allegations with the necessary editorial distance, we ensure that the pursuit of justice is matched by an equal dedication to truth and integrity.